Welcome to Cat Unmuted. Today, excuse me, let me get some water before. God, I'm already dry. I haven't even spoken that much yet. Today I want to talk about something that is more medical than anything else. It's called adenomyosis, and it has kind of gotten me exhausted to do anything, so I'm kind of late posting this video. I'm actually recording it on the day that I usually post it live. With that said, I'm feeling a tad better today. I still feel stuff, but I still wanted to deliver something. And I feel like this is a good topic to bring up since I'm going through it right now. Adenomyosis is, let me tell you what it is first. Adenomyosis is very similar to endometriosis. The only difference is adenomyosis stays in the uterus, as opposed to endometriosis. It can be anywhere, and a lot of women have it in their reproductive system as well. In my case, again, different. Yeah. One of the symptoms is brain fog. So bear with me, and I thank you in advance for whatever patience you have for me in listening to me talk with this brain fog. Anyway, adenomyosis is basically the endometrium, which is the lining of the uterus, or something similar to it, something like it, growing in the muscle wall of the uterus. And so every month when I go through my cycle, the lining obviously goes through its cycle, but the endometrium that has grown into the muscle wall will have the same process. So now I'm bleeding not just in the uterine lining, the actual uterine lining, but I'm also bleeding inside the walls, and therefore it creates a list of issues. One is that when it bleeds, some of it bleeds behind the wall, so then the bleeding becomes very irregular. Sometimes I'll have old blood come out, and you can tell because it's more brown than it is red. And when it does come out, it's painful because it's not coming from where it's supposed to be coming from. Yeah. What else? So, and with all of that said, everything's inflamed, and everybody's got a level of inflammation and a level of pain. I think, if I remember correctly, there are 4 levels to adenomyosis, and I want to say I'm in the first stage. So just thankful that excuse me, I have this chronic cough since the bad allergies I had earlier this year when spring came super early. So, and that's been going on too. I think you've been hearing me cough and drink water a lot lately. But anyway, my point is the inflammation. So stage 1, that just means that I'm not in as much pain as people in 2, 3, and 4. But um, I still feel um, highly uncomfortable, almost painful, like things going on in the uterus. Um, and I still have the lower back pain, which I've had for I don't know how long, since my 20s. And one of the newer things that I've noticed is um, pain that runs down and up my back. And so, what I'm understanding is that the inflammation can get so bad that I'll press against the spine where all the nerves come from, where the nerves start, right? Like that's where it starts flowing outwards into your limbs. So it's pressing against that, which makes things more pain because now it's pinching it. So it can be numbness, pain, or stabbing sensations, um, sore, maybe. It started out as sore for me, but it's starting to become more than that. Um, anyway, this adenomyosis, one of the reasons I decided to bring it up was because um, this started after I had my miscarriage. And between me and the doctors, we, you know, I thought it was more all these symptoms were the heavy bleeding and all of that stuff was just my hormones getting out of balance because, well, I had a miscarriage, right? But it was like I had somewhat of a normal cycle for about 6 months before the heavy bleeding started. And, um, yeah, that one, like, I started seeing all kinds of people and friends who's gone through similar things said that it was endometriosis and a lot of them had luck with acupuncture. So I seeked out an acupuncturist and started doing all this stuff. But um, uh, again, similar things, but different beast, right? So I'm still struggling with it. But I've learned a lot about adenomyosis in the last year, especially in the last several months when after I got diagnosed with it. God, I'm saying so many different things right now. What I'm saying is I was gonna say the last year, but I've been dealing with it, but I didn't know I had I didn't know I had adenomyosis. I got diagnosed with it in December timeframe, maybe November. I can't remember. It's been months now, but my problem, the problem that I had was that I finally, like, all these things are happening, right? And I have no answers. And my doctor finally sent me to get an ultrasound on my uterus, which, mind you, that has happened. I've done uh, ultrasounds on my uterus before because I was off the pill and I wasn't getting pregnant. Not that we were truly trying, not that we were not uh, preventing it either. And I decided that I wanted to know if there was anything wrong with me. Um, Even though I wasn't, again, I didn't mind not having kids, but if there was something that was preventing it from happening, like if there was something going on in my body that was that's not normal, like I wanted to know about it. So I went to a fertility clinic to kind of look into things, and I even had an ultrasound and nothing, right? Nobody told me I had anything. Anywho, so now years later, in 2024, I had my miscarriage. And then by 2025, just before 2025, was when I started having these issues. So the entire year of 2025, I had these issues. And at the end of 2025, I finally get an appointment with an ultrasound tech to check into my uterus. And I got a letter back from the VA saying that I have adenomyosis, and this is how, like, there was like measurements in there. I didn't know anything about it. Nobody called me to make an appointment to like talk about this. Nobody, there was nothing. But I did have my first acupuncture appointment the very next day. So I didn't know I was going to need that information, but I wanted to understand what it was. So I actually put it into Dingus, my chat GPT, to understand what adenomyosis was. And so I took that, I have it on my phone at that point. So when I went to the acupuncturist, he asked me why I wanted to start seeing him. I told him about this. And he looked at the results with the measurements, and he explained to me that this is probably why you haven't had been able to get pregnant, and the same reason why you miscarried. And the where was I going with that? He was telling me all these things. Oh yeah. Okay, so the reasons for my fertility issues, right? But the next thing he said was that the measurements gives me an idea of how inflamed my the affected areas were. And he said that the measurements were, so according to him, a lot of women have this, but it's not even enough to affect them. So then it goes unnoticed. However, in my case, it was so thick, it was much thicker than normal, that would explain the infertility as well as the miscarriage. So he explained to me that the inflammation, like, it grows inwards, right? Like, well, it grows, like, it just inflames in all directions, right? Like, it just poofs out. So it's pushing against my spine, and it's also pushing inwards where the embryo needs to go if you get pregnant. And the inflammation is filling up the uterus in the first place, that it gives no room for the embryo to grow. And it's still at the stage where it's not strong enough to be able to basically hold its place against the inflammation. So with that said, that, like, suddenly I have answers. Like, this guy was telling me what adenomyosis was, what it's doing in my uterus, and also that it wasn't the Wendy's burger that I ate. If anybody's gone through a miscarriage before, and it doesn't even have to be a miscarriage, when something happens and you don't have an answer for it, you naturally will put blame on something. And mine was the burger I ate the day I miscarried. So naturally, I blamed it on the burger. But no, it was not the burger. It was the adenomyosis that I had. And I didn't get any explanations until I met my acupuncturist. The bleeding hadn't been as bad since I started acupuncture, so I think that truly helped. But yeah, now it's not I don't want to say the word it, say that it came back, but um, um, well, I don't even know. Like I don't know yet because my cycles have been so off. It's hard to tell if I'm actually on my cycle or if you know what I mean. So like, um, some yeah, I for all I know, perimenopause is real with me right now, and I don't know, I can't tell the difference between that and adenomyosis. So I don't know what's happening. Everything's just whatever. So I'm sure I had it. It just wasn't showing as bad. And for all I know, it is the acupuncture sessions that I've been getting once a week that truly helped. But um, the thing is, um, in the medical field, I don't feel like I got much of any info. And because I was seeing the acupuncturist, I didn't feel the need to ask questions either because he had answered a lot of my questions and even questions I even know needed an answer or was there at all. Um, but maybe I need to make that appointment. Like, but my point is like they didn't even like knowing that I got diagnosed with adenomyosis. I didn't get offered anything else but other stuff. Like, for example, my doctor was telling me about, and I love my doctor to death. I just want to throw that out there. But I just don't think they have like the support system they need to be able to support us. You know what I mean? Anyway, whatever the case is, um, uh, she's sending me to a liver specialist, which makes sense because according to a lot of the things that I've started learning in the last, I don't know, month, um, uh, the liver actually tries to filter out um, excessive estrogen production. And excessive estrogen can also feed into the adenomyosis situation. Don't ask me how that works. I'm not from the medical field, right? So I'm just taking this in a way I understand it, and that's how I understand it. Um, anyway, this adenomyosis thing is just crazy to me because that is the reason I had a miscarriage. That is the reason I was infertile. But I've also seen a video where this girl was explaining that she looked everywhere like I've been doing, and she has not seen any success stories with fertility. But she is now 17 weeks in, like she is 17 weeks pregnant, and so she believes there is still hope whether you have adenomyosis or not. Um, yeah, and I just made an appointment with my other acupuncturist, um, the doctor of Chinese medicine who lives in Australia. She's wonderful too. And she has helped me a lot um, with this stuff. I don't know how to explain that either. And I just want you to know she's one of the people I talk about in my book, Lucky the Bird Turning the Page. And I love her to death. Anyway, we'll see if she's going to be able to help me some too. And I want to see if I can find a female or um, uh, an acupuncturist, I don't care who it is, that specializes in female health and see if that changes anything. Um, anyway, I'm talking about this because a lot of the things I see on on social media, a lot of the doctors talk about it. I have followed a couple of them because I want to understand it better in the medical sense. But I also want more people who are going through this to talk about this because again, this woman that I just talked about who is going through a, um, the same thing, adenomyosis, but is pregnant, wants to know if there is a possibility, right? Like, and my whole uh, purpose of having Cat Unmuted is to talk about the things that are taboo to talk about and things that are basically unspoken that should be spoken. And so, with that said, here I am talking about my situation. I'm grateful that I'm not as at the stage where the pain is incredible. Um, I do have brain fog. I do have headaches. I do have back pain, and I do feel my uterus. It feels like somebody's in there pinching and like twisting a little bit. It feels heavy. I feel off and on. I'll feel um, pain going down my legs as well as up my lower back, um, and my legs feel heavy. Like I don't have any energy. I'm in like this chronic fatigue, not just in my brain and my overall being, but my legs. Um, yeah. So I really don't know what else to say about this. Let me look at my notes real quick. I have not been looking at them. Um, oh yeah, and the bloating because it's inflamed. So like it's not necessarily you getting bloated, and I'm sure when you eat food, I'm sure it'll be like bloating too because I've like if I eat the wrong foods, I feel like it makes it worse. But the uterus itself is inflamed so much that it's pushing your stomach out. I saw another recording where this girl was showing her um, situation with her adenomyosis, where she's like, um, "This is how I usually am, but I woke up with this," and she looked like she was in the early stages of pregnancy. Um, yeah, so that's the bloating. There's the pelvic pressures, the fatigue. Oh, and apparently, it can be painful during sex, um, which I haven't really experienced yet, but I don't want to say yet. I have not experienced it. Hopefully, I don't ever. But this, th- everything else that I have explained it's already affecting my sex life anyway. You know what I mean? Like I'm exhausted, and my pelvis, my uterus, all of that is so uncomfortable. I don't want anybody fucking touching me. You know what I mean? So that um with that said, I don't know, like maybe I'm letting that um be a reason to not have sex, and that's why I'm not feeling the pain. I don't know. Um yeah, I've been so exhausted I haven't been doing any work. Hence why I'm doing this recording now, because I feel like I should be sharing this in real time. Like I look horrible. I did not take a shower this morning. I'm just like done. Um, Chronic inflammation. Um, and the weight. I've been gaining a lot of weight. Like not a lot of weight, but like enough to really notice the scale is different. And at first I thought it was just gaining weight from just in general, like, hormonal stuff, but it's the same. It is hormonal. But at this point I'm not sure even in what sense. What does that mean? And I'm still confused about that because um, after you have your baby or postpartum shit, whether it's having after having the baby or a miscarriage, you kind of go through that hormonal chaos and you do gain weight, which I did. But I think the adenomyosis, which has a lot to do with the hormonal stress, adds to it. Because it's not just stress anymore, it's the stress hormones, right? But like this is a different kind of stress. Stress is stress. So the way the body is going to internalize that is going to be the same. The stress hormones, the cortisol. Because of that, there's water retention. And I don't even want to start talking about going back to the gym. Like, we had been working out, but not in the last several days. I'm not there. I'm just resting. I'm not even on my computer working on my workshops. Like, I'm just, you know what I mean? The brain fog, man. I don't think I can do anything super productive. So, again, resting. What else did I write here? Yeah, eat less, move more is not a thing. Like, I wrote that down because, like, again, this is not the normal I ate too much and weight gain, or I'm not moving enough, so therefore I'm not, you know. Anyway, my point is, if you're going through something like this and you're like, oh, I need to eat less, like, that's not the point here. Let's see. I did the ultrasound. I did not do an MRI. I heard that there are, actually, Josh found this online the other day. They have in Asia, Taiwan, the Philippines, and I'm sure Japan, where I'm heading, have MRI machines specifically for this, and they have treatment plans for adenomyosis that I didn't even fucking know existed until recently. Oh yeah, there it is. I did write it down. It's called Episonica Arc Blade, and it's a non-invasive option as opposed to removing your uterus. Because I have heard that you could remove your uterus and you might completely alleviate the pain and all that, but that apparently doesn't fix everything. My mom had it. She didn't know what it was called, so I had no idea what this was. Since she has, a language barrier, but she removed her uterus. Like, she had the surgery to remove hysterectomy. There we go. And she regrets it a lot because there was a lot of symptoms that came with that. Yeah, anyway. So there are options in Asia, and since I'm going in that direction, I am definitely going to go and talk to somebody about that. Obviously, not everything is going to be the answer to every single adenomyosis situation, because everybody's different, right? So, but this is what I'm learning, and I'm just sharing what I learned. I did see that heat therapy, castor oil packs, anti-inflammatory foods, which would make sense. Um, Gentle movements as opposed to hardcore workouts, and nervous system regulation in, like, breathing, breath work. If you know anybody that does a breath work coaching, seek them out. My husband's one of them, but he doesn't do sessions yet. He's still trying to figure out what he wants to do, but he is certified. Um, let's see. I can't even like connect with what I wrote, but that's all right because I think I have talked a lot about what I've gone through medically, personally with my acupuncturist, all that stuff. I may be missing a lot of things, but that's only because even I'm still confused. Um, I've never met anybody with adenomyosis except for the people that I have seen online, and they do not have any solutions. They just talk about what it is, what they have experienced, which I'm grateful because now I know, because I just know that I have adenomyosis. I didn't even know there were levels 1 to 4. I just found that out today. So I just wanted to share what I learned, and hopefully that helps you, whoever's needs to know this. Um, and hopefully I find something that actually worked for me and I can share that with you. So far, the acupuncturist did help, who's not, who doesn't specialize in women's health, but um, he was in the medical field prior. Like, I think he was a cardiologist or something like that. He did surgery on um, the cardiac um, system. Um, my brain. Okay. I'm gonna stop that right there so I can go on to the next thing. But point is, I wanted to share what I'm going through and not let that stop me from recording. This might be kind of hard to listen to because I'm a little slower today. But again, I just want to be able to share. Apparently, April was Adenomyosis Awareness Month. I did not know that, but that's okay. It is May, but it's still at the beginning of May, and I think I can still contribute. It doesn't matter what time of the year it is, you can always share. Anyway, so that's my story about my adenomyosis. Um, and hopefully that did something for you. I will keep you guys posted, but I don't know what's coming out of this. I'm still confused. So, one thing I did learn. So because we were hardcore working out, we were taking creatine. Apparently, creatine can still help with the brain fog and all this stuff, but apparently there's another thing behind it where because of all the things that's happening that's causing the brain fog and fatigue and all this stuff. Um, that portion, apparently creatine feeds into it. You don't want to feed it. It might help with the brain fog and the energy levels, but it's not helping where it's coming from, apparently. So I didn't know that until before I started this video, so an hour ago almost. And yeah, I'm gonna stop taking it. Anyway, hopefully this helps you guys, whoever needs to hear it, and I will talk to you guys next week. Have a good day. This was or is Cat Unmuted. Follow and share and like my videos if you like what I share. I'll see you guys. Bye.